What's up, everybody? Frank Valkyria. Welcome to the channel. Today we're talking movies. Yes, let's do a review. Before we go, this is gonna be a spoiler review. So if you haven't watched the movie, don't go on. If you watched the movie, you want to stay, let's do this together. Yesterday I watched Wonder Woman 1984, and by my sighing, you already understand. Let's give a minute of silence for everyone, including me, that had expectations that this movie would be better than the other. I really enjoyed the other movie. Tonight probably I'm gonna watch the other one just to sort of wash away a little bit the bitter taste that 1984 left in my mouth. So disappointing, I have to say, extremely disappointing. And let's start from the premise that I really wanted to like this movie. I really did. I have absolutely no issue with this type of, I don't know, first of all, I don't know why people have issues with female heroes, superheroes. I just don't get it. I just love, I love science fiction. I love movies. I love this type of stuff. So whenever you create great characters, whenever you create great movies, I don't care. I don't care who is the lead. I just want to enjoy a good movie. And that's what I was expecting. And it didn't happen. So let's start from the beginning. We have like young Diana showing off that she's a great athlete already as a kid. She's having this challenge somewhere, supposed to be Amazon, Greece, whatever. Already questionable design, this structure perked on top of a cliff. And I'm thinking like, wow, they have money, they have everything. And this is what they chose to go for. I don't know what that was, but anyway, like it's also personal. Of course, you might like it. I didn't really like it much. So we see Diana kicking asses. She's stronger than grown-up athletes, but then at the end, on the course that she's supposed to win, she cuts through a shortcut, and at the end of the race, when she's in front, she gets grabbed by the auntie, and she doesn't win, of course. And the auntie tells her like, hey, look, you were cheating. You cannot win by cheating because the truth is all that matters. The truth is all that matters. And in that moment, we know that morality lesson will come back in the movie most likely. All right, let's go from there, bam, forward into the 80s. I was really like, yum, 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 80s. I want to see how they reimagine the 80s. And we got some nice shots, nice set dressing, the cars on the street looked like almost a documentary. Well done. I was really into the mood for it. We got the first scene of Wonder Woman kicking some asses in a shopping mall for some dudes doing a time heist or robbing a jewelry shop / black market art artifact. And she's kicking some asses. I love the color. It reminded me of Commando with Schwarzenegger, I love the action. I was like, yes, let's go. I'm all for it. Let's go full in 80s mode right now. The whole movie, 2 hours and a half. 2 hours and a half of movie. Yes, but unfortunately, that was the last time this movie was any good. And then we go to the introduction of the artifact, this crystal. Diana, she works at the Smithsonian Museum, a branch of artifacts, whatever. We get introduced Kristen Wiig, Barbara Minerva, that she's the neglected kind of genius, whatever it's her field. We have seen it before. And then we have Pedro Pascal, Maxwell Lord. He's looking for something. He's looking for that artifact because he's going into Ruvin and he doesn't want to be a loser. And so he's been looking for this artifact. We learn later on. But there is also no build up to that character. Why? Whatever. Anyway, this thing, boom, is literally thrown on the table. The FBI has given us this crystal that most likely is citrine. Nobody cares. It's a fake. Yes, it's a fake. But if it was not a fake, probably would be a wish granter like a lamp. And we just there like, okay, all right. You just have to accept that. And then that's how it starts. People start to wish. Diana starts to wish. Barbara starts to wish. And Barbara becomes wishes to be like Diana. Diana wishes to have her love back. And then Maxwell Lord, which is trying to get this thing, works his way into the Smithsonian, to the Barbara Minerva character, mingling with her and then stealing it from her, becoming the artifact, because that's what he wishes for. He wants to become the lamp himself, granting wishes to everyone. But of course, there is a negative side to this. There is something that you gotta give back. The monkey's paws, like they refer to it in the movie, that when you wish for something, your wish is granted, you must lose something in return. So here it starts. Diana, she gets Steve Trevor back in the most weird, awkward way. All of a sudden, we're at a party, and just Steve shows up out of the blue, in the body of somebody else. And you're like, there is no build up to that. She's just followed by some dude, and all of a sudden, hey, it's me, it's Steve. Look, I have a watch. What? And then all of a sudden, there is like a turning around, and from that dude, he becomes Steve. The transition is the most awkward I've ever seen. I didn't get it. I was like, totally cold. No build up to it, no momentum, and I was totally confused, honestly. So then we got Barbara Minerva become strong. Then we start to have Pedro Pascal Maxwell Lord starting to grant wishes to people, and he gets their money in return. And to that point, I'm like, okay, he's just gonna do it a couple of times to get more powerful. But then he goes haywire, and he starts to want to wish for everybody something and get something from them. But anyway, because you wish something, you lose something. Then Diana gets Steve, but she's losing some of her abilities. Kristen Wiig, she got like self-assured and strong, but at the same time she lost her humanity. And we see that in the way men are depicted in this movie. There is a scene where there is an assault on her, and Wonder Woman is there to save her. And then afterwards, when she become powerful, Barbara Minerva meets the same asshole, which that guy, of course, is an asshole. And basically, I think it kills him. So, but also the way men are depicted. I mean, this girl, Barbara, she's running on the street at a certain point, and whatever she walked, there's people catcalling her. And I'm like, seriously? I mean, I understand you want to give a message, but it seems like that every guy, apart from Steve Trevor in this movie, is a piece of shit. It's depicted absolutely with this sort of like agenda in mind, to make a statement about masculine, bad, very bad. And I'm like, all right, let's move past that. But then, again, the movie becomes slow, becomes completely confusing. The way it solves itself, like it's totally unimaginative. We have to retrieve this artifact because this Maxwell Lord is making a mess, granting everybody's wishes and taking their stuff back. Like he's like deteriorating, creating deterioration between international relationships of countries. He wants to claim the ultimate power and get the power of the president, granting the president of the United States more nuclear heads to fight against the Russians, and it becomes a mess. And then he wants to broadcast his message to the entire world because he wants to touch it everybody. That's kind of creepy, and it's possible through broadcasting through the entire world with this new technology that he becomes in contact with, because he has access now to the presidency and all the mumbo jumbo. And Diana has to retrieve that, but in the meanwhile, she's losing her power, so she's affected. She's not as strong, and they come to the conclusion that either people renounce their wishes willingly by themselves. That's it. You just have to say, I renounce my wish. That's it. Everything goes back to normal. And we got to the part where, of course, she has to renounce Steve Trevor. That also, I don't know what kind of thing serves in this movie. Like the sort of like worst way of using Chris Pine ever seen. And also sort of mild sidekick boyfriend that I just don't understand. I really was very confusing. Really not much of a use apart from some kind of comedic relief about clothing and those sort of little gig in the movie. And then we come to the conclusion that Diana has to give up Steve Trevor in order to regain her power, and also because she's needed in the world to make the world a better place. So she does, and probably we get some of the best part of the movie when she gets the power back and she starts to fly. She learns how to fly. There is this nice moment, and probably is the last one in the movie. There are things which are nice, but the way we get there, also the message at the end of the movie, like I get why some people they're willing to give more stars than this movie deserves, because at the end of the day, I can understand the message was nice. Like all this wishing, this Maxwell Lord going AWire, granting wishes to everyone and taking back from everyone, and at the same time people wishing egoistically for themselves, don't wanting to give back their wish, renounce their wish. It's a nice message of how we're dealing with our society, that we're greedy, that we take too much than what we give, and in that respect, I enjoyed the message. And I'm willing also to, pump up a little bit the rating, so to speak. But how we got there, oh, wow. Completely, I'm still confused. If I don't make absolute sense in this review, it's because I'm still confused. I'm trying to, I'm just trying to go like, how do we connect this? And at the end, anyway, like the unimaginative way of just renouncing your wishes, Diana manages to get to this facility where Pedro Pascal Maxwell Lord gets to broadcast himself to the people, to grant everybody's wishes and taking their health from them so that he could also heal, because the side effect of granting people wishes was that it was destroying his health, so that at the end, he's wishing everybody something, he's allowing everybody to have their wish, but it's taking their health from them. Anyway, the world is a mess, it's chaotic, and we have also this last scene where Kristen Wiig, she's already powerful, but for whatever reason she wants to be an apex predator. Go figure. She was already basically Diana-like in terms of strength, but no, she wanted to be a cat. Go figure, huh? Absolutely weird. And also I have a personal problem with the last fight. They make a big fuss out of this armor that is shown in the beginning in the movie. This beautiful armor, golden armor with wings that Diana has from her people. And we have this last scene where she flies to the facility, the radar facility, the broadcasting facility where Maxwell Lord is broadcasting himself, and where also Barbara Minerva is transformed into a cheetah woman, and she flies there, and all of a sudden this last battle between the two powerful characters, Diana and Barbara, takes place basically on outside of a wall, of this concrete wall, a back door entrance of this facility that looks like sort of like as if you were at the back door of a shopping mall, like loading dock, whatever that is, and it's narrow, and like this scene that it's supposed to be great, that we get Diana coming down with this beautiful armor, and she's fighting in this little sort of patio, whatever there is, kind of constricted, and it takes place in between those cables. Literally for me, the choice of that environment, it just left me a little bit puzzled. I'm like, wow, they could have made this, in my opinion, more epic. I'm not going to give a scale of how much epicness I desired, but definitely there could have been more epicness added to that scene. And I was like, looked like a bad video game in my opinion. But anyway, she manages to reach the dude, get contact with him with the lasso, and she asked everybody, basically broadcasting herself through the lasso, through Maxwell Lord, and ask everybody around the world to renounce their dream, to renounce their wish, because the truth, it's all things that matter, and it's the only thing that we should accept and go for. The morality of the beginning, the morality tale, the morality story of the lesson of the beginning comes back there, and that's it. That's basically it. And then you still like left with the bitter taste of why even Steve Trevor was used. Just I don't know. Yeah, is that again? And then at the end, the only reason why they used a shell of a person to house Steve Trevor in the movie is because at the end of the movie we have this sort of Christmassy vibe scene where Diana meets actually the shell of Steve Trevor, or the body that this Steve Trevor was inhabiting, and that's it. And I'm also thinking like, hey, isn't there somewhere like in the DC comic a moment where Batman and Wonder Woman they get together maybe? Or am I just dreaming? And I was thinking like, even if it wasn't there, maybe just maybe show Bruce Wayne, do something like that it's connected. Otherwise, what the heck is this DC universe building forward to? Like totally confused. So I'm willing to give a movie 6.1, and I see already that on IMDb here, IMDb is already given 5.8. So people are really pissed. Already 61,000 votes. People are not really happy. But I'm willing to give personally 6.1 because I think the message was okay. There were nice scenes in the movie, but definitely they made a complete mess, and I don't understand why. Honestly, I just don't understand why. That's it. It's a bad when a movie leaves you like this. Meh. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know your opinion if you watched the movie as well. And I'll see you later. Ciao.